So it was the first Chicago Bears win in 347 days. That's just, in a league full of parity, that's hard to wrap your brain around. I'm still not sure it proves anything. In fact, the last Bears win was also a blowout win, was also in a standalone game against the team, at that time the Patriots, now the Commanders, we don't think are a playoff team, against the defensive coach and a mediocre quarterback on the road. It was the same thing. And the Bears went on to lose 14 straight games. So last night proved, I'm not sure. Colin, what about Justin Fields? Justin Fields was unbelievable. Well, he's always had moments and highlights. I said before the season, he's got to get out from being a YouTube quarterback. A lot of guys have highlights. We always knew he had talent, run around, great athlete. That's never been the issue. The issue has always been, and this is the issue with all quarterbacks eventually, sustainability. The great ones, Breeze, Brady, Mahomes, you kind of get the same thing every year and the same thing every week. Couple of stinkers here and there. So it's sustainability. Can Justin Fields give us this or something that looks sort of like this 13 times a year? I don't know. I mean, here are three things that are true last night. Justin Fields completed 52% of his passes. Secondly, 82% of the yards went to DJ Moore. And half of DJ Moore's yards were after the catch, okay? And the third thing is, I thought it was basically last night was a breakout game for DJ Moore more than Justin Fields. That's not a knock on Justin. It was a really fun game. It feels good as a Bears fan. It's a great sports city, an amazing NFL city. And they're tired of the ownership, the coaching, the GM, the one guy they like and are crossing their fingers on and hope that works. I mean, they want Eberflus out of town. They want new owners. They hope Justin Fields works. But was last night just a really cool weekend for a couple that probably won't last very long? It feels maybe a little bit like that. Now, here's the good news for Chicago. They have a fourth-place schedule. There's a lot of winnable games on this thing. This schedule, you got Minnesota at home coming up with extra time now to prepare. That feels like a potential win. Then you get Vegas at home. Could you go on a 3-game winning streak? I mean, you're at the Chargers, but Bear fans will probably make that a Bears home game. At New Orleans, certainly winnable. Carolina at home. That's a lot of winnable games. The Bears could have something they don't get much over the last few years. A winning streak, I think. I don't know it proves anything. We could have been watching two really mediocre teams last night. That's probably what we watched. That said, it's okay to feel good after a great weekend with somebody you may not marry. It's okay to feel good. He's happy. He should be. The schedule works in their favor. Extra time to prepare for Minnesota at home feels like a really winnable Bears game. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Their last win looked just like this one. Against the mediocre quarterback, non-playoff team, standalone game, blowout win, defensive head coach, and it didn't mean anything. This one, the schedule, Justin Fields now, there's something there. Let's cross our fingers because he's the one guy of this entire organization. He's the one guy that you can see the talent, right? The GM, the coach, the ownership. Justin Fields, you can see it. Can he do this time and time and time again? 4 out of 5 weekends, 7 out of 9. We'll see. The big TV game this weekend, NBC Sports has it. It's San Francisco, Dallas, and it's a circle game. The networks, including Fox, CBS, NBC, all these networks, they circle a handful of games. Philadelphia plays Kansas City. I think it's in November when the schedule came out. Buffalo plays Kansas City. I think that's in December. This was a circle game. And I like the 49ers to win. I think they have the better coach. They're at home. That's worth a couple of points. And San Francisco has far better weapons in the red zone. They've been a great red zone offense. I think both teams will move the ball. But I think San Francisco will get some touchdowns in the red zone. Cowboys will settle more often for field goals, although the Niners' red zone defense has not been as good this year. But one of the reasons I like San Francisco to win, because it's a big game, and Dallas, when's the last big game they won? Oh, they beat the Seahawks a couple of years ago in a wild card game in Dallas. That not very memorable. Seattle was old and kind of out of their Super Bowl window. They last year won a road playoff game over 45-year-old Tom Brady and the division-winning 8-9 Buccaneers, a wild card game. Yeah, I guess you could, if you wanted to, say, oh, it's a big games, but the Dallas Cowboys winning wild card games don't feel big. They haven't won a division round playoff game since like forever, like 95. So they have a Pittsburgh Steelers problem. Gigantic brand, always in the spotlight, won plenty of big games, have a star quarterback, but they don't win a lot of big games. Dak doesn't win a lot of big games. Big Ben down the stretch didn't win a lot of big games. It's like Deontay Wilder, the boxer. He's got a big brand, a lot of fights, a lot of W's, but not against the best opponents. And that's kind of, I think, where we are with the Cowboys. So 0 division round playoff wins since 1995. The Chiefs have 5 in the last 5 years. Now, of course, they have Mahomes and Reed. It just feels like a big, big game. I think Dallas has the second best group of talent. Dak hasn't been particularly effective in these big games against Philadelphia. He's got a lot of wins over the Giants and Washington. That's not what this is. This is the most talented team in the NFL. I think it's very competitive. I think it's a 24-21, 24-20 game. It's a stay-away game. I've said it. It's not my Blazing Five. I tend to take games where it won't be, a big game influenced by, things beyond the game. I think we have 2 quarterbacks that were underdrafted. Dak's way better than I thought he would be. Who knew Brock Purdy would be this? The Niners have 4 different players who are the best in the NFL at their position. Trent Williams, the left tackle, is remarkable. Brandon Ayuk's having a season. Fred Warner. There's talent everywhere in this. But there is something about the Steelers over the last 10 years. Everybody brags that Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. That's the standard for the Steelers? I mean, maybe for the Jaguars, but the Steelers? And for the Cowboys? Well, they won those wild card games. It's the Cowboys. It's like the Yankees of Major League Baseball. Wild card wins? I mean, how many shows debate shows or big talk shows talked about baseball wild card week last week? How about we start with 0? That's on the MLB network, right? So, I don't know. Phillies Braves, now that's something to talk about. But I just, these kind of games, I never feel Dallas is going to win them. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.